Train a neural network in minutes. You won't believe how easy it is. Welcome to TechEnvisionAI. If you're excited about the power of neural networks and want to learn how to train them quickly, hit that subscribe button and let's dive in. From self-driving cars to predicting the stock market, this tech is everywhere. Today, we'll show you how to train a neural network in just minutes, using simple and accessible tools. Let's get started. First things first, we need data. Think of it like this. You're teaching a computer to recognize different types of birds. To do that, you need to show it a bunch of pictures of birds, right? That's your data set. For beginners, we recommend using datasets from Kaggle or Google's Open Dataset repository. These platforms are like massive libraries full of data just waiting to be used. You can find datasets on everything from images and text to financial data and medical records. They're well organized and easy to work with, which is perfect when you're just starting out. Now, you might be wondering, how do I choose the right dataset? Well, it depends on what you're interested in. If you're into image recognition, go for an image dataset. If you're more into natural language processing, find a text dataset. It's all about your interests and what you want to explore. Once you've found the perfect dataset, you're ready for the next step. Okay, you've got your dataset, awesome. Now it's time to clean things up. Think of it like this. You wouldn't bake a cake with dirty dishes, right? Data pre-processing is like washing your dishes and getting all your ingredients prepped and ready to go. We need to make sure our data is consistent and free of errors. This means dealing with any missing values and formatting everything correctly. Trust me, a little cleaning goes a long way in making sure your neural network performs its best. So how do we actually do this? Well, Python's Pandas library is your new best friend. Pandas is like a super powerful spreadsheet tool that lets you manipulate and clean your data with ease. You can import your data into Pandas and then use functions like drop_null to get rid of missing values. It's super intuitive and makes data cleaning a breeze. Now for the fun part, building the neural network itself. Don't worry, it's not as intimidating as it sounds. Think of it like building with Legos. You have different building blocks, or layers in this case, and you connect them in specific ways to create something awesome. Libraries like Keras and TensorFlow are your go-to tools for this. These libraries provide pre-built functions and structures that make building neural networks a whole lot easier. It's like having a set of power tools instead of having to saw wood by hand. Keras is known for being super user-friendly, especially for beginners. With just a few lines of code, you can define the different layers of your neural network, like the input layer, hidden layers, and output layer. You'll decide how many layers to use and how many neurons each layer should have. Once you've defined your layers, you need to compile your model. All right, time to put your model through its paces. This is where the learning magic happens. Remember that dataset we meticulously cleaned? Well, now we're going to feed it to our model. But first, we need to split our dataset into two parts, a training set and a testing set. Think of it like studying for an exam. You don't want to study the exact same questions that will be on the test, right? You want to learn the material broadly so you can answer new questions. The training set is what we use to teach our model. We show it tons of examples and let it adjust its internal parameters to learn the patterns in the data. The testing set, on the other hand, is like the final exam. We use it to see how well our model has learned and generalized from the training data. To train our model, we'll use the fit function in Keras. This function takes our training data and feeds it to our model, batch by batch. The training is complete. Congrats. Now let's see how well our neural network did. This is where we put our model to the test, literally. We'll use that testing set we set aside earlier to evaluate its performance. Think of this step like grading the exam. We need to see how many answers our model got right and how many it got wrong. But instead of just looking at the overall score, we'll use a few key metrics to get a more detailed understanding of our model's strengths and weaknesses. Accuracy is one of the most common metrics. It tells us what percentage of predictions our model got right. But accuracy alone doesn't tell the whole story. We also need to consider precision and recall. Precision measures how many of the positive predictions made by our model were actually correct. Recall, on the other hand, tells us how many of the actual positive cases our model was able to identify. To get these metrics, we'll use the evaluate function in Keras. So you've trained your model and evaluated its performance. Now what? Well, it's time to fine-tune things to squeeze out every last drop of performance. Think of hyperparameters like the knobs and dials on a fancy espresso machine. Adjusting these settings can make a huge difference in the quality of your espresso, or in our case, the performance of our neural network. Some key hyperparameters include the learning rate, batch size, and number of epochs. The learning rate controls how quickly our model learns from the data. A higher learning rate might help our model learn faster, but it also risks overshooting the optimal values. Batch size determines how many data points we feed to our model at once. Larger batches can speed up training, but they also require more memory. Finding the optimal hyperparameters is often a process of trial and error. But thankfully, there are tools like grid search that can automate this process for us. We've covered a lot of ground, from choosing a dataset to fine-tuning hyperparameters. Now let's step back and appreciate the bigger picture. Neural networks aren't just some abstract concept, they're powering real-world applications that are changing the world around us. Let's start with healthcare. Neural networks are being used to develop new drugs, diagnose diseases earlier and with higher accuracy, and even personalize treatment plans for individual patients. They're helping doctors make more informed decisions and ultimately save lives. In finance, neural networks are being used to detect fraudulent transactions, predict stock prices, and manage risk. They're making financial systems more secure and efficient. And, of course, we can't forget about self-driving cars. Neural networks are the brains behind these autonomous vehicles. These are just a few examples of how neural networks are being used to solve real-world problems. Now, as promised, here's the special surprise. For those who watch till the end, you can claim $300 worth of 5 financial calculators for free. Just subscribe, send a screenshot to 91132111787 on WhatsApp, and they're yours. But that's not all. If you're looking to automate your stock market trades without coding, check out our How to Automate Stock Market Trades Without Coding course. It's worth $100, but for a limited time, it's available for only $1.20. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Click the link below to enroll now. And remember, subscribing to TechEnvisionAI means you're always up to date with the latest in AI and technology. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment with your thoughts on training neural networks.